Hi everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for December 23rd to the 29th, 2018. It is officially the last full week of the year. So I do have a little extra note that came out of my review of this week's activations, which are pretty important despite the holidays that might be distracting you. I hope that you get to listen to this before, during, or after, as soon as possible. So, as we navigate the extremes of light and darkness, we can find or cultivate our own unique balance, sweet spot, or comfort zone. Of course, maintaining that is always the challenge, right? This week's activations promise to stir things pretty deeply for one and all, so be mindful of your words, thoughts, and deeds. Now through the first or second week of January 2019, we are still navigating the depths or just emerging from them. Give yourself some time and space for what I call re-entry. When you've had a transformative experience, like the year 2018 was for most of us, it's crucial to take a moment to process what came into the light for you, the individual. How were you cracked open in 2018, and what did you find in your heart when that happened? The planetary energies support a variety of odd couples, as it were, activating our inner alchemist, forcing us to take two, or sometimes more, really different elements and combine them for something new and utterly unique. How's that going for you? When you come up against a challenge that seems insurmountable, what is your natural response? Do you quit or get creative and determined? Well, these energies require us to do both. Be determined and grounded while pursuing the wildest dreams we can conceive at this time. 2019 promises to expand our vision of what is possible, both for ourselves as individuals and for the communities to which we belong. Reviewing this week's activations is what prompted this additional note. I want to take advantage of the supportive juju available this week, despite any holidays and family obligations. If you find time to listen or read the forecast this week, you're already doing great. Your higher self knows the energies and what's best for you, now and always. But I want to offer something a little richer, deeper, like the self-work we do in the Venus Circle. If you've ever wondered what that's all about, it's mostly a circle of women of various ages getting to know their own natural rhythms after being imposed upon by patriarchy, culture, and family conditioning. This week, we are supported to nurture our dreams and visions and go deeper within ourselves to be able to offer more in our relationships and communities. Enter the distraction of the holidays. It's not inconceivable that your soul self has an agenda and gets cranky when the world imposes uninvited like this. It's better to use the stress or tension to gather some pertinent information regarding you. Whatever comes up this week is but a reflection of something deeper going on within you. If it's light-filled and positive, great. That means you're on the right track and grounded in your true self. If you have a dark holiday with relatives or strangers, do your best to excavate the blessing or teaching from that exchange. What can you learn about yourself by examining your own responses to outside triggers, positive or negative? What is your natural response? What is your conditioned response to both positive and negative outside influences? In addition to this week's forecast, we are exploring the upcoming Venus-Moon contact that falls on 1/1/2019, which is New Year's Day. Right after this last full week, we're going to move right into this. So this last week of 2018 leads to an initiation and release in your Scorpio house and at the root chakra. The Venus retrograde process is almost done, and so begins her new cycle. We have released the negative inner masculine that guided our decisions in the world by abusing or misusing our own power. We have also released the negative inner masculine that guided our internal dialogues, the negative self-talk that tells you that you will never amount to anything if you don't achieve the status quo way, whatever that may be. It seems to be unique to cultures around the world. So essentially, we've cleansed that so that our inner feminine can also operate more fully, and they can work together in better balance. This month, we initiate at the root chakra, and you can decide what you would like to pull from the root so it does not go into your future with you. We are developing or renegotiating our relationship with our own shadow nature. Y'all know I love me some Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who wrote Women Who Run with the Wolves, who says that shadow is the aspects of oneself which are considered by ego to be undesirable or not useful and are therefore relegated to the dark. This is another indication that the shadow nature holds both our negative complexes and unresolved issues, as well as our innate gifts and natural talents. Notice that she says these natural inclinations are really uncomfortable to the ego, indicating that they are also somehow not in alignment with the status quo, so you must hide or disregard them. It's time to honor the worst parts of oneself and acknowledge the unconscious motivations behind some of the decisions you've made in the last 18 months to 8 years. This month, you may be shown the many ways that there is a disconnect between who you were taught, raised, or conditioned to be and who you really are. This causes its own kind of survival mode thinking or living that we can also address this month. We will reset the connection to our physical body and root chakra, clearing and releasing any blockages to feeling safe, nourished, and protected by your own body or in your own personal environment. Okay, we're getting literal now, and we're initiating a new release process that's going to free up some energy. This is your very literal day-to-day existence that needs a clearing of some sort. As the Earth's frequency rises, it affects our bodies too. As we age, our needs and requirements change over time. It's also helpful to get in a rhythm like the body, input and output, take in and digest, assimilate, and release. If you alternate consolidating and expanding your life in an ongoing rhythm, things start to work more fluidly, smoothly, and organically perfect just for you. Also consider how much shame and disgust goes on with the body for you or women you know. Shadow nature is not limited to hiding our imbalances or negativity. It is also where we relegate the gifts, strengths, and individuality that often makes others uncomfortable. It's time to stop hiding and surviving and consciously choose a new archetype to embody going forward. You've gotten all the good out of being a survivor. So, we are going to explore some of this a little more deeply on the Venus Telecircle this week, which falls on Thursday, December 27th at 8 p.m., and all are welcome. You can join us once in a while to get an infusion of the sacred feminine and how the energies are playing out for you personally, or you can get a custom guide and go narrow and deep with your own individual values and priorities. 2018 was life-changing for everyone I know, me included, and 2019 is going to illuminate the new amazing possibilities. And like the phoenix from the ashes, we will all rise into our greater selves and richer stories this year. Just prepare to start grounding the new vision or new story by 2020 because it can and will support you for 7 to 28 years minimum. So you can go to my site to join us in the Venus Circle. This is also the last week that I am karmictools.wordpress.com before I go back to my original karmictools.com. So for now, in joining this week's Venus Circle, you'll want to go to karmictools.wordpress.com. Under Tools and Offerings is Telecircle, and then you scroll over, there's the Free Power Circle and the Venus Circle. You want to click on Venus Circle. Now you can check out this week's activations and do your best to navigate the waters in which you find yourself, choppy or smooth. Keep in mind that you are emerging from something or someplace into the new. Take your time, look around in the new year, get acclimated to the new vibration, and then determine from the inside out what path you would like to experience next, because there is definitely no going back. All that you need will be provided. Just move forward on faith and look for opportunities in every obstacle and turn your wounds into wisdom that you can actually use. So much love and gratitude for you, my community. It means a lot that you guys read and listen to this. So we start on 24th, which is Christmas Eve, with Mercury squaring Neptune. This is a mixed blessing energy. On one hand, it's good for spiritual study and giving your dreams a little energy if your schedule permits. On the other hand, it makes for major miscommunications between people. Try to think before speaking, because if it's possible to misunderstand or not get it altogether, It will happen this week. Be careful not to let longing for your dreams to come true distort your judgment and mislead you into believing the illusion. With this energy, some people will deliberately deceive, and others have to be careful not to be misled. Stick to the facts or stay quiet for now. You may even be inclined to withhold information to avoid a confrontation. Don't do it. Communication with yourself and God, Spirit, Source, or Higher Self today is best. Otherwise, plan to be very clear in explaining yourself to others, the humans, so there is no misunderstandings. So I have to interject here when I say you might be inclined to withhold information to avoid a confrontation. Some of you may have heard me say over the years that to not disagree, people will assume you agree. And in the old days, whatever that may be, it probably worked where it's like, I'm not going to change your mind, you're not going to change my mind, let's just not discuss it, or let's agree to disagree, or whatever, and we can let it go. But the problem is now when you stay silent, when you really disagree, and you stay silent, people assume you agree. And that can come back to bite you down the road. So this is why we said don't do that. Mercury squaring Neptune is stirring up that confusion that I talked about earlier, and how we may be thinking and feeling one thing, but others are picking up things. And this is what you have to keep in mind. It's going through their filter. You can't control that. So a lot of trust or turning within to, like I said, work on your dreams or work on your plan for the new year, your intentions. It's a very sacred holiday. In fact, I made an executive decision early on that this is going to be a sacred New Year's Eve for me, and talking to Spirit and Source directly. No party this year. We'll party in the spring. That's when we party around here. So our only other activation this week is also stirring the cauldron pretty deeply, and that's on the 28th, which is Friday. So we have activations Monday and Friday, and Christmas in the middle, so do your best. This energy deepens all emotions and strengthens bonds and attachments, because this is between Venus and Pluto. Friendships and love relationships become much deeper and sometimes more intense, not to mention any physical or sexual experiences. Being fake or superficial is never possible when Pluto is involved. And because Venus is involved, we're talking relationships or how you relate in general. So if you're needing to dig a little deeper with someone, you are supported. This energy can facilitate positive transformation in your relationships, partnerships, or collaborations. It will give you added power to help you change what needs changing, or at least get it on the table for a deeper discussion or a clearing conversation. The emotional intensity may be at an unusually high level this week. So be sure to surround yourself with people who love you unconditionally, or try to be alone and just reflect on what you're feeling. So this is why I love to do this recording, the podcast and the YouTube, because I can synthesize this. So you see how one activation says we're going to get stirred up and miscommunications can happen, and the other one says, oh, go deeper. I think it is going to, again, some people are going to implode. That's just the nature of it. But if you are meant to evolve in your relationship, whether this is love and personal, or friendships and family, or things going on in your career at work and whatnot, if it was meant to go to the next level, I think this combo can help us clear the confusion. It might bring it up so that you have to address it. But then if you address it, I think if it's meant to be, addressing it will be a positive thing. If it's not meant to be, it's going to blow up, and it's going to still be a good thing because you learned that it's not meant to be. And you might as well let go and let God, because again, you're never going to agree. You're not seeing the same things the same way. There's no meeting in the middle. And at this moment, I would always counsel you to self-preservation is not selfish, but essential to navigating your world. And most of you know the bulk of my work is dedicated to supporting the individual get it together so the globe can be okay. So reach out if you need to. Join us in the Venus Circle if you like. It is a beautiful place to get individual support in a group setting where we're all kind of focused on the same thing, getting ourselves together. And know that you have an outstanding new year on the way. And so you also do not want to be distracted by darkness and chaos. so much that you miss blessings and opportunities that are just disguised as challenges, you guys. That's how it goes. And they're always customized for us as individuals. So the better we are at honoring that shadow nature and asking the deeper questions and checking in with your own responses. Why did I respond that way? Why does that make me feel that way? Why does that trigger me in such a way? Or why does that motivate me better than this? Why am I so inspired by this but not by that? So, you're looking for both. Your inspiration and your shadow nature are up in the new year. And you want to go in, let's say, with at least the initiation of a new expanded vision for your life. We've been in a very contracted year for 2018. Lots of death and completions and culminations that are so obvious no one can deny. My 2 cents, in case you didn't get the winter solstice call or you don't join us on the Venus call, is just that 2019 is going to give us support for expanding in really beautiful ways if we're open to miracles and if we're open to the positive and being optimistic and looking for the win-win. If you can stay in the light, you can connect to those miracles that you need to function. What's going to happen is, it's like I said, with 2018 cracking us open to find out what's in there, now we can really stretch and expand and learn and teach in all new ways and have some new experiences in a really beautiful, positive way. Then, come 2020, the universe supports us settling in, anchoring, and solidifying that big vision in some way that will be a brick by brick, year by year process of stability that will last the 7 to 28 years I was talking about, because we're talking about a Saturn cycle here. So really potent, useful time to expand your vision and believe in it, because whatever you believe is going to be true for you, whether it's negative or positive. So if you believe it, it's real for you. And you got to know that for others as well. If they're believing something that you know is absolutely not true, make a left, keep it moving. Because 2020, we get to anchor something that ought to be wonderfully new, soundly structured, rewards for all the effort and energy and sacrifice and work that we've put in over the last 7, 14, 21, 28 years. Think about what you've been doing since the 80s. It's run its course. It's like a beautiful old mansion or house or a wonderful old, car that runs wonderfully but still needs special care and maintenance to upgrade it and to make it be able to function at these higher frequencies. And we and our bodies and minds and spirits all do too. So thanks for listening. This is Kelly M. Beard of karmictools.wordpress.com, and I'm so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly@karmictools.com, or you can reach me through my contact page on the website. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, or subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept, but there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for over 30 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. Namaste.